So my lesson began with a question. Did you know that there's a patch of garbage in the Pacific Ocean twice the size of Texas? And this led to a lot of other questions that we could investigate scientifically. But I started with a book, and the book led to some brainstorming about the trash in the ocean. And what I had students do is actually get out the Legos in my classroom and build an invention that might solve this problem. How do you get the trash out of the ocean? Or how do you stop the trash from getting in the ocean? And they had wonderful observations, and you see the nice net on that little boy's invention. They also did planning sheets where they had to draw the pictures and write about what they built. We even built marine animals later. So this is the PowerPoint that I used to show students, and a lot of the PowerPoints I use are just very visual. This is a camera the boy found on the beach. And so we talked about flotsam that they'd found at the ocean, and we saw ropes and different things in the pictures. This was a great one because it actually relates to a book by Eric Carle, where a box of rubber ducks fall off the back of a boat and are found all over the world. And pieces of planes, and it really engages them. But when you tell them about this patch of garbage, twice the size of Texas, they can't believe it. And then you show them the pictures, and they still can't believe it. And then they go home and they tell their parents about it. And so we brainstormed two things. How does the trash get into the ocean, first of all? And then how can trash affect the animals in the ocean? So what is the impact of that? And they had wonderful insights as far as the wind blowing in, and they already knew that animals are affected by plastic. But then we talked about how we can solve this problem. And that is when those Legos came out, as I already said. One tool that was kind of interesting to play around with was the Bing Map tool, because we were able to actually use some of these drawing tools and the little place marks to mark the items and talk about these as a class and explore some of the geographic things and the fact that there are actually gyres all over the world. And adding URLs and adding photos meant that when you clicked on these little spots, they came alive and they showed the kids more information. So we had a really good time with this. And like I said, we also took this drawing tool, and I had kids actually start to trace some of these gyres after looking at a map that I gave them. And finally, we decided to do a Google literature trip, tying the book Flotsam to the Earth. And so what I had students do is take pages from the book and things that they'd seen, like the starfish, search for them, find images, investigate, do some research. Where are starfish? Where do they live? 10 facts. And we put together a Google literature trip. And there's a big map in my classroom. There's myself. And here's a quick preview. And so in the end, although we used a ton of tools and a ton of different resources, everything from building with our hands to writing on paper to viewing presentations by the teacher to engaging with research on the computer. It was a project that really met so many different outcomes, from language arts to geography to social sciences to even math when we talked about size and different things. So I hope you enjoyed my project, and I look forward to hopefully going to the Microsoft Expert Educator Forum in March. Thank you.